Hey, it's Michele Replogle from Compass, and I am doing my market update, market recap for 2023 here in mid-December. It might seem a little late, but I'm glad I did because the Feds had a meeting last Wednesday and they said, hey, maybe we went too nutty with the rates. We're going to start doing some cuts next year. And, the stock market went crazy and everybody got really excited. And right away, the interest rates went down. Today, they're 6.32, but I want to remind you to make sure you look at the loan products. If you're looking at them online, make sure that you really understand what they are and look for the asterisks, because that 6.32 interest rate that I saw online today has points attached to it. That's where you have to pay to actually buy down the rate to that lower amount. It's usually about $1,000 per amount that you buy. So just make sure that when you're looking at all the loan products and interest rates that you're looking for asterisks, looking for what type of loan it is. Just be really careful. I recommend, of course, talking to, somebody real and not the internet, but Anyway, perusing through the statistics, I'm going to give you some highlights here and then tell you a little bit about what I experienced in 2023, and then I'll end with what I think is going to happen in 2024. So just quickly going through these slides, I'm going to be putting them, they are actually attached to this email if you are getting it from an email from me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link below. But right now, one of the big things I saw in all of these, a lot of words, was year over year, 2023 year-to-date sales were down by approximately 20% from 2022 after the steep decline from 2021. Well, we know what happened there. First, interest rates started going up a bit, but we also know that the housing prices started going up too, because the demand during COVID got so insane that, prices went up. And you can look at that in these slides and you can see 2021 is just like way up there in the bar charts. Active listings. The number of daily active listings has begun its decline to its midwinter low point. So, it's hard to say, listings have gone down and, there's less listings. And we always say, there's lower inventory, but it is that it's seasonally, it's lower. It just is. People don't sell their homes typically in our winter, and our rainy season has started. So listing homes at this time of year, of course, you're going to see less. Sales in 1 month mostly reflect accepted offer activity in the previous month. The drop in accepted offers in October left, of course, to a decline in November sales. So, just the usual decline. But what you can really see is 2020, 2021, 2022, and then 2023. So we had that high during COVID, and it has gone down. And the interest rates really, kind of pulled everything back in the market. But on the other hand, I think people just weren't buying so crazy, like, oh, I've got to live here because, I'm so worried about this pandemic. Then there was, average sales price to original list price percentage. 2021, 2022, they were getting almost 110% of their listing price, 100 plus another 10%. We only saw a little bit of it in June, and then it went down. So really, without the craziness that we had in January and March, so the beginning of the year, we had a lot of residuals. So the interest rates are starting to go up, but we had residual buyers in the market that had come from 2022, and they're like, we're going to buy. We're just going to buy. So when it comes on, we're ready to go. We've been looking. Those buyers that really just wanted to buy, they bought. And then the other ones who, have probably stepped out of the market, they're renting, or maybe they're not even purchasing in this area. I also do know of people who live here and have actually taken advantage of lower interest rates and some more of the market benefits of earlier years. They bought in other markets. But anyway, we saw the sales start to really go down. We also saw inventory go down. It was an interesting year. price reductions didn't always help. I noticed that on a few listings that I had, no matter how much we lowered the price, the actual interest just wasn't there from the buyers. They just weren't going to buy. It just wasn't their market, or the type of listing that it was, that buyer wasn't in the market. The other thing is, besides the interest rates going up, there have been, in the Silicon Valley, there have been some layoffs. There's been some company changes, and things have changed a little bit. So we saw in the later part of this year, we saw buyer interest from the early spring, have a lot of interest and kind of peel off that residual from 2022. Then we saw prices not go down, but interest rates go up, and the inventory start to shrink, because some sellers were like, well, look, I don't want to sell in this market. I can see right now buyers aren't that interested. And then between that environment, the market just kind of went down, and then coupled with the seasonal. So here we are in pretty much a down market right now. But with the interest rates the way they are even today, I expect there'll be some listings in January that are going to pop on, where some sellers have just been waiting and they're going to jump on. So what I predict a little bit, and I predict this usually every year, but this last January, I wasn't really entirely sure what was going to happen, and it wasn't quite as busy. But sometimes January can be a really kind of busy month. Like the buyer who's been waiting, they're going to get the interest rate and they're ready to buy. And somebody's like, I want to sell my house. I'm ready to move on in this coming year. So they'll put their house on, and you'll have this kind of almost little mini market, mini uptick in the market. But it doesn't really stay. And part of that is because of the weather, because you're still grabbing some of the residual from the year before. And then if we have the rainy season, I don't really think we're going to see a whole lot of activity till later in the year, probably March, April, but we're going to probably have more of a regular season, especially if those rates come down. We'll see a normal spring. So we'll see a lot of beautiful listings come on. We'll see the big throngs of buyers run towards them, and a few people get a little bruised along the way. And then we'll have the buyers who kind of wait it out or check things out and get some stuff in the spring. Summer. Don't you love how I said spring? In the summer. And then the late summer is where you've kind of seen what's going on for the year. You might even get another mortgage rate reduction. And we could actually see a busy late summer, early fall, which one of the financial people was predicting as well, because by that time we might have that second rate cut that in fact will affect the rates to go down. So what do I expect for 2024? Well, gosh, I say don't predict, because you just really never know. But I would say you might want to keep your eye on the market if you're a buyer in the spring, but it may be a little hot. And I've told buyers that before. I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, but I saw this house and I love it. Let's write an offer, and there's 20 million offers on it, but that's okay. I mean, you want to get in there and kind of get your running shoes on and learn how to run with the pack. And eventually you will be the winner. So, you got to get in there and practice and try and make your offer, learn the offer part, learn how to read the disclosures, understand the financial product that you're getting to buy the house with. Even if you're using cash, you really want to make sure that you understand the current financial markets. So that's what I think. I think that the spring is going to be nutty. I think the summer is probably going to see some nice listings of people who didn't quite make it on in the spring, but then can take advantage of lower mortgage rates. So I think even in the summer, you could probably still find a really nice house if you're a buyer. If you're a seller, oh my gosh, start getting ready now. Start calling me now. Thinking about what you're going to do, because I think you want to be prepared for next year. I think it's going to be kind of busy. Now, the election is next fall. And I want to warn you, I've been through a few of them. You will see almost a stunning drop off in your activity if you're listed. It causes just a fright or a freeze in the market. People just kind of, sellers, if you're on, you may see your activity just drop. or you may see people coming into open houses and looking and not doing anything. That does have a little bit of a pause on the market. Depending on the outcome of the election can also depend on where everything goes after. So I'm not going to go there at all. I'm not going to talk about that in any way, shape, or form. But what I can tell you is 2023 was a really kind of a busy early part of the year, and then it just started to kind of slow down. And while we saw busy open houses and busy broker tours, we just didn't see the buyer activity due to what I believe firmly was because of the interest rates. And then this fall, we had some buyers jump back in. We had a couple, one in August. One in August. And then July, August, September, and October, we had some spurts. And I think that was buyers just like, I can't take it anymore. I'm ready to buy. I'm just going to buy and I'll figure it out later. Just get in. And then now we're in our seasonal low. And I expect that January is going to see some activity. And I think we're going to move into a regular year, but it is an election year, so it will kind of slow things down a bit. But I'm going to include all of these statistics there for you to check out. Of course, call me or text me or email me for more information, or if you have questions about when you want to sell or when you want to buy and when you think might be a good time. Of course, realtors always say now, but I would say looking out right now, it's raining. I would probably say of all of it, if you're a buyer, go check out the areas that you want to live in while it's raining. That's always what I recommend. And if you're a seller, go outside, take a look at your house and see where the water's going. We will probably have a kind of a rainy year, so we have to pay a little bit more attention to the weather this time of year while we're buying and selling. Other than that, I hope you have the best of holidays. If you have any questions at all, please reach out, subscribe, comment, share, like, go to all my other socials and check me out there. I'm on Threads now. I'm on Twitter or X, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So if you need anything, I think it's pretty easy to find me, and I hope you are doing well.